Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's episode, we are talking about Azure's compliance certification and how they help businesses to meet security and regulatory requirements by government or their own organization. Whether you are in healthcare, finance, or any industry dealing with sensitive data, Azure have you covered. How Azure meets compliance standards? Well, in simple way, by following all the industry leading certification and compliance policies. Well, here, Azure follows the global compliance framework to ensure data security and privacy. Here are some of the few frameworks. There might be many. We will just discuss the important one or the famous one. The first one is ISO 27001 and 27018, which actually focuses on information security and privacy management through a strict control and audits. Azure do follow it. GDPR. Well, if your industry or your organization handle personal data within European Union, Azure provides tools to help you meet data protection and privacy regulations according to their policy. They have to meet the SLA, the service level agreement. How about SOC 1, 2, and 3? Well, these audit reports give transparency into Azure security, availability, and confidentiality control. In simple terms, the data must be available for audits. And the next one is HIPAA, quite famous for US actually. This is specifically designed for healthcare organizations. Here, Azure ensures the secure handling of protected health information, whether it is the, uh, let's say, report for some patient or very critical detail of someone's autopsy or something very sensitive like that. With HIPAA, they have to protect it. They cannot disclose it. PCI DSS. Well, if your organization or business processes credit card payments, Azure meets strict payment security standards for that, especially handling cardholders' data. Using Azure Compliance Manager now, you can actually track compliance across Azure environment. That's where Azure Compliance Manager comes in, right? So to do that, the first thing is your graphical dashboard, which is also known as compliance dashboard. It basically gives a centralized or a unified view of your compliance posture and tracks the progress. Next thing you will do here is assessment and control. Well, you can run compliance check over your environment for some of the compliant policies such as ISO, GDPR, SOC, HIPAA, or more, mapping them directly to your Azure resources. Well, actionable insights. Here you get recommendations on how to improve compliance and security. If something is wrong, Azure will try to give you basic recommendations to quickly fix it. Automated tracking. Well, here you keep up with compliance tasks automatically, reducing manual efforts. In simple terms, it is actually a set frequency of scanning your environment and check for compliance. Audit-ready reports. Well, you can also generate reports to prove compliance when needed, specifically for your audits of your certification. You can also export these reports to other platforms, such as Power BI platform, to give a very graphical, information-rich data set to your C-suite, let's say, who will actually make the decisions. Now, my final thoughts. Well, Azure is actually a public cloud. They get a lot of money from everyone or every customer all over the globe. So they have to make sure that they're also compliant with all rules and regulations. All right. So Azure makes it easier for you or your organization to be compliant and be more transparent so your businesses can focus on innovation without worrying about security risks or random audits or penalties. That's it for this episode. I will see you in the next one. Take care.